City Exchange is a very historical moment of our capital markets.
गिफ्ट सिटी कॉमर्स और टेक्नोलॉजी के हब के रूप में अपनी मजबूत पहचान बना रहा है.
One of the major points of its success is its world-class infrastructure, many of which have been implemented in the country for the first time.
And the vision was to create a financial center that can compete with the likes of London, Tokyo, Shanghai, etc.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel Ask Parul. So continuing with our NRI series, I have in studio an esteemed guest, Mr. Alok Dubey. He's a certified financial planner who has been helping the NRIs to live the best possible life financially for more than a decade. He has conducted educational workshops specifically for US-based NRIs and also for UAE and Gulf-based NRIs to help them save taxes for investments back in India. He also run a famous YouTube channel. The link of that is given in the description box. You can take a look. And please do reach out to us in case if you need any consultation or advice on your investments back in India. Mr. Dubey, welcome to my channel.
Hey, hi Parul. Hi, thanks for having me.
Start with Gift City investments because there is a lot of buzz around Gift City investments. In simple terms, what does this investment mean for NRI? How did it got founded? What are the benefits of Gift City investments? If you can just enlighten our viewers.
Sure, Parul, sure. So, to throw some light about Gift City, Gift City is a financial center set up here in India. So, with Gift City, mainly what the purpose of setting Gift City is that whatever investment used to happen offshore in other financial centers, now they will be happening here back in India. So, for example, if there was a high net worth individual who wanted to send his money and invest in India, earlier he had so much compliances to be followed in terms of does he send it to his Indian bank accounts and then make the investments. So usually what high net worth people used to do is they used to send their money to Mauritius or Luxembourg or any other tax havens and then make the investment from there, because with every country the DTAA with that country also differs. So nobody wanted to get into that kind of complication. So people used to prefer these financial centers to make the investments. The famous ones were usually the Singapore Financial Center and the Dubai Financial Centers. Any investment made through those modes used to be tax-free, and eventually the process was very seamless for people. Now, what Indian government thought is that all the investments are coming back here in India. So why not we develop a system wherein these same investments can be done in India itself through an Indian entity, and we provide the same kind of tax environment, the hassle-free processes to all these entities. So that is where the Gift City got formed. It is a financial center which is set up here in India in the city of Ahmedabad. And the purpose of Gift City is same like we discussed. Whatever firms get set up in Gift City, they enjoy a tax benefit in terms of for next 10 years, they don't have to pay any taxes. And if you are an investment fund set up in Gift City, you can accept money in various other currencies, and then those investments can be done either in India or maybe across the globe.
Right.
So that's mainly the purpose of Gift City.
Right. And what kind of instruments are covered? You mentioned there are financial instruments. So are there any limitations or restrictions? How does the process work? And is it only applicable to specific countries? Let's assume you mentioned around people in Gulf countries, because there I'm assuming the taxation is almost nil. So they can be benefited the most. So two questions. One is that which kind of financial instruments are applicable? And second is that are there some specific countries where this Gift City investments work better as compared to, let's say, some of the other countries?
See, as far as the countries are concerned, there's no as such restriction in terms of which countries are allowed and which are not. But mainly it is about giving you the ease of taxation. So whichever investments are made through Gift City, let's say outside India or inside India, they don't usually fall under the purview of Indian tax laws. So for example, any NRI who was earlier investing from, let's say, United States, now what he was supposed to do is he would make his investments in India, change the currency where slightly some slippages would happen. Once he made those investments in India, and let's say he books some profits, he would have to pay some taxes to Indian government first, and then the remaining taxes he will have to pay to the US government. That is how usually the system used to work. Now, what with the Gift City, what happens is you make directly investment from US into the Gift City fund, and when taking money back, it comes to your US bank account only. So even though you get exposure to Indian investments, there will be no compliances or taxation arising here in India. So whatever tax you're liable to pay, you only have to pay that back in US only. So that was mainly the ease that people used to get. And talking about Gulf, because they have zero taxes, that is where they get benefit the most. Because if somebody from Gulf was supposed to invest in India, he would end up paying 12.5% taxes here. But if he's directly investing into Gift City funds and taking the money back that same route, then eventually he ends up paying zero taxes.
Right. So are there some specific, like I was asking, instruments, so like shares, bonds, property? So are there any restrictions, or it includes all the financial instruments at the moment that people can think of?
So, see, Gift City was envisioned long time back, but it actually came into operations quite some years back. Maybe post-COVID is when people started setting up their funds there. All the financial investments that you can do are right now present with Gift City. Real estate and all those options are not currently available, but mainly whatever falls into the financial domain. So let's say investing into markets, mutual funds. There are Gift City insurances also, which are USD denominated. So you have bond investments, you have AIF investments. So all these investments you can do through Gift City. And it's still developing. So there are many more options which are about to come in the near future.
Right. But I'm just curious to understand, like, why did the government did something like this? Because they are not getting any benefit out of taxation. Is it just to streamline the process, or are there some other benefits as well? Why they came up with this concept?
See, usually, let's say if Gift City was not there, eventually these investments were done in India, because right now we know globally that India is the best place to make your investments. Whatever growth is going to come out of India across all the countries. Like I told you earlier, this investment used to happen, let's say, through Mauritius route. Somebody will park their money there, or Switzerland or Luxembourg accounts, and then invest through the FPI route. Now, what government figured out is, okay, they are mainly doing this for tax benefits, and they deserve tax benefits because they are not Indian tax residents. They are residents outside. So what they figured out is, okay, let's give them a vehicle, but a vehicle which is situated in India rather than something which is situated outside. Now, definitely India doesn't collect any taxes on it, and it was not doing that earlier also. But now what happens is with Gift City, when these companies come onshore, they give employment to the surrounding and whatever ecosystem is getting built around that. So with Gift City, let's say if I am somebody who wants to start a new fund management company, I can set up my company there. But to set up my company there are regulations wherein I need to have a physical presence. I need to have more than 2 or 3 employees full time on my payroll. So that eventually builds the entire ecosystem around that. And if you go to Gift City now, even companies like Google, companies like Amex, they already have their big offices back in Gift City. So the main purpose is not to collect taxes, but then build the ecosystem, give employment. And when that economy grows, then eventually government can always collect some part of the taxes.
Right. But you mentioned that people used to use the route of Mauritius, of, other places, for example. In traditional sense, what used to happen is, and correct me if I'm wrong, but in a traditional sense, which is still happening, is, let's assume somebody has invested in mutual funds or shares. They have made capital gain taxes. They would be, if it's a long term, let's assume it will be 12.5% that they would be paying. They will get that offset in their country of residence so that they don't have to pay double taxation, given that
Correct.
particular country and India has a double taxation agreement, right? That's a traditional way of doing it. Does that still hold true, or is it only for high net individuals, for example, where the Gift City is more applicable? Or where is the distinction between this traditional route and the Gift City route? I'm just trying to make sense of it.
So Gift City route, like I said, is slightly meant for people of higher net worth. and Gift City funds. So basically, let's say, let's compare two options, and we have been doing this now for our clients, right? So if somebody, let's say, has 150K USD, somewhere around, let's say, 1.2 or 1.3 crores with them, if they want to invest a lump sum here in India, for them, Gift City route will be the best option because Gift City has a minimum of 150K USD. But somebody who wants to start small, for them, Gift City option is right now not available. Maybe in future they might come up with a smaller size fund levels and all. So in that case, you might have to send money to your NRE account and then make the normal mutual fund investments. But if somebody has a bigger amount, and see, when the amounts are bigger, that is when the currency risks and all these things matter a lot. With smaller amounts, you can always start small, and then once you have the bigger corpus, you can look for the better instruments. But if somebody has a bigger chunk and they don't actually know, see, the problem is that if it's a big amount, then the brokerages and the money that he'll lose in currency variations will be higher for him. But with Gift City route, that's not at all a problem. Whatever he sends will be in dollars or whichever his currency is, and then he again gets the money back into that. So that INR conversion and all that doesn't happen at the investor level.
So the amount is invested in USD, let's assume in this case, and the benefit that they are getting is also in the same currency, which is USD.
Yeah.
And does it need to be linked to their, let's say, NRO or NRE account, or how does that work?
That's not at all required. No, that's not at all required. And in fact, somebody making investments in Gift City need not require a PAN card also. Because let's say somebody moved to US a few years back and he gave up Indian citizenship. Now he might choose to not have a PAN card and an Aadhaar card, but he can still make those investments through this route. There are many people who are coming to us today who are, let's say, second generation Indian origin people. So their parents went to US or maybe Australia, and the kids are born there, but they eventually want to make investments in India. So for them, again, this becomes a very easy to do option and a very less compliance route.
Right. So my understanding is, if I can summarize, and please correct me if I'm wrong, it's mainly for high net worth individuals. The minimum is 150,000 USD, correct? Which person needs to have. If somebody is looking to invest in India, reap the benefits, this is a good instrument. The third is that it's available for financial instruments. Real estate is currently not included in this one. Currently, it includes the financial instruments, right? So that's my understanding. You also mentioned that the PAN is not required, for example, and then there are people who are high net worth individuals. How does the compliance work? Because people can misuse as well, right? So how does the compliance work? How do people ensure, or rather the government officials ensure that there is compliance or regulatory requirement that's being met?
All the Gift City funds usually follow the same process that a normal Indian investment would follow. So they do the right kind of KYCs. They make sure that your citizenship proofs, your passports, and all those documents are rightly submitted. So I don't think from a regulation point of view, somebody can actually misuse that. And as a matter of fact, the regulators in Gift City, so that body is called as IFSC. IFSC is actually a very stricter regulator as compared to the other regulators, because then you are a financial center globally. So you have to follow global standards as opposed to whatever we have right now in India. So they make sure that they do all the due diligence right. All the investments are made through SWIFT transfers. So it's not something that they can hide from which bank they are actually transferring the money. So things are very clear, and only then the investment is accepted in any Gift City fund.
And do people need to open some bank accounts in India? No, nothing. Is it? How does?
Nothing at all. No. Whichever your existing accounts might be there, they are more than enough to make the investment.
In the foreign country. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.